Okay, I've been meaning to update this proof by induction playlist for ages because in the year 2 exams you may be expected to do proof by induction for nth derivatives, and I wanted to make sure that this was included. If you're in year 1, don't worry about this, but if you're in year 2 and you're doing some reviewing of stuff, this might be useful for you. So all we're going to do is prove by induction that if y is equal to x e to the 2x, then for all positive integers z, the nth derivative is equal to this thing. And I'll talk about this when it is required. So you know what you have to do for proof by induction. We're going to first of all prove that it's true, or show that it's true for n equals 1, okay? So we will show that it's true for n equals 1. In other words, let's find out what dy by dx is from this thing here just by differentiating it. So with the product rule, I will differentiate the x, so I just get e to the 2x, and then I will keep the x, and I will multiply by the derivative of e to the 2x, which is 2e to the 2x. So as I take a factor out, I will have e to the 2x, 1 plus 2x. And then from the formula that we've got, if I was going to use the formula, this is dy by dx, where n is equal to 1. It would be 1 plus 2x times by 2 to the power of 0 e to the 2x, which is 1 plus 2x e to the 2x, which is the same thing that I've got here. I don't know why I felt the need to write it the other way around just to make it extra clear it's the same as this. So I will say, hence, it is true for n equals 1. I'm going to need another page. Let me just add in a blank page. I'll do that in just a second. Maybe I can fit it in, actually. Okay, so now what we will do is we will assume that it is true for n equals k. You know how we do this. So this means that for my assumption step, dky dx to the k, anywhere there's an n, it's going to be replaced with a k. So that's k plus 2x, 2 to the k minus 1, e to the 2x. And what we're now going to do is we are going to show that it is true for n equals k plus 1. You know how I like to sometimes do the thing that we are aiming for? This is going to be a useful thing for us to write down, just to make sure that we're on track for what we're going towards. So where there's a k, I'm going to replace it with a k plus 1. Where there is a k, I'm going to replace it with a k plus 1. So it would be k plus 1 minus 1, so it's just going to be like this. This is the thing that I'm aiming for. So as I continue with it over here, I'm going to now say this box. I'm going from the n equals k to the n equals k plus 1 step. All I need to do is differentiate this with respect to k. When I differentiate this with respect to k, it goes up by 1. You know how if you differentiate like the second derivative with respect to k, it goes to the third derivative. It's that same idea. We're increasing it by 1 by just differentiating it. So I'm now going to find out what the k plus 1th derivative is, and I'm going to do that by differentiating this thing with respect to x. So just be aware of which are the things that are the numbers, which are the things that are the functions. So it's a product rule, right? That's going to be like u. That's going to be like v when I do the differentiation. So keeping these kind of like on at the same time so we can see everything happening, I will start off by differentiating the u part with respect to x. That's just a number. 2x is just going to differentiate to a 2. So it's going to be a 2 times by 2 to the power of k minus 1 e to the 2x. That's the first part of the product rule. And then what I'm going to do is keep this, but differentiate this. So I will keep this. That's going to be my k plus 2x. And I will differentiate this. Now, this is just a constant, so it's going to stay there. So it's going to get multiplied by 2 to the power of k minus 1. That is then going to get multiplied by the derivative of e to the 2x, which is 2e to the 2x. All we have to hope now is it's going to simplify down to this thing that we've got. So they have a 2 to the power of k. That's going to be a 2 to the power of k. And I think this 2 and this 2 to the power of k minus 1 is going to give me that as well. So that is a 2 to the power of k e to the 2x plus k plus 2x 2 to the power of k e to the 2x. Let me just highlight those parts. These bits have become this, and these bits have become this. I'm looking at the thing that I was aiming for. And then what I can do is figure out that they've got these parts being factorized, this 2 to the k and e to the 2x. So if I have my 2 to the k and e to the 2x, I'll have that as my factoring part. Well, this thing is just 1 times by that, so there's a 1. And then for the second part, there is a k plus 2x, which is going to look exactly like we wanted. It's the k plus 1 plus 2x, 2 to the power of k, e to the 2x. Now, if we really, really wanted to make this look like the exact same thing as this form, but with n as k plus 1, sometimes I like to do that. I might say that instead of k, there is k plus 1. And instead of this part, it was previously, what was it, an n minus 1? It's a k plus 1 minus 1 e to the 2x. And then I'm going to write here, conclusion statement. You don't need me to tell you what you need to write for this conclusion statement. I'm going to say it out loud, but I won't write it down just to save some time. As it was true for n equals 1, and it was true for n equals k plus 1, when it was assumed true for n equals k. Therefore, this thing here is true for all n as positive integers that we've got. So we got the thing that we were looking for at the aim. And if you don't want the examiner to look at that, you can just put a line through it at the end. So really, it's just this part with this arrow where you're going from here to here. You're just differentiating it and trying to make it look like the aim. Now, of course, I do want you to have another opportunity to try one of these questions yourself. They can ask it in lots of different ways. It could be any kinds of functions. This one, though, is looking at proving it for y equals 1 over 2x plus 1 for the nth derivative of it. So, have a go at this. Pause the video and see if you get the same thing as me. Okay, we are going to have to show that it's true for n equals 1. Show true for n equals 1. So, if y is 1 over 2x plus 1, that is 2x plus 1 to the minus 1, I'll do the long, old school method of differentiation, and then I'll use the formula that they've given us to check it afterwards. So I will pull the power down, I will reduce the power by 1, and I will multiply by the derivative of this, which is 2. So that is minus 2 over 2x plus 1 squared. And then using the formula for n equals 1, dy by dx is equal to minus 1 to the 1, 2 to the 1, 1 factorial over 2x plus 1 to the 1 plus 1. Well, that's going to be a minus 1, that's going to be a 2, and that's going to be a 1. So that is minus 2 over 2x plus 1 squared. Hence, it is true for n equals 1. Classic step, assume that it is true for n equals k. In other words, the kth derivative, which sounds crazy to say, the kth derivative of y with respect to x is minus 1 to the power of k, 2 to the power of k, k factorial. Remember, anytime there's an n, there is a k. And that is going to get divided by 2x plus 1 to the power of k plus 1. So we might like to do a bit of an aim. I wonder if I can do the aim part over here. So this will be that the k plus 1y over dx to the k plus 1. That would be a minus 1 to the k plus 1, 2 to the k plus 1, k plus 1 factorial. You may not need this stage. And this is a 2x plus 1, k plus 1 plus 1. So that would be k plus 2. Whew. Okay, let's do some differentiation. So in order to do some differentiation for this part, I'm probably going to put this, but put the power as like a negative power. So I might do that right now, actually. It's going to be my dky dxk. I'm going to have minus 1k, 2k, k factorial, 2x plus 1. When you make this a minus power, it will be a minus k and a minus 1. So let's do the inductive steps. This is going to be k plus 1, k plus 1. It literally just means differentiate this thing, but be careful. This is just a factor, this is a factor, this is a factor. This is really the only part that actually needs differentiation. So all of those parts are going to stay there. There'll be the minus 1k, the 2k, and the k factorial. That's going to stay there. But for this, I will pull this power down. Now, when I pull that power down, I'm probably going to pull it down as a minus k plus 1. I'm then going to reduce that power by 1, so it becomes minus k minus 2. And I'm also going to multiply by the derivative of this inside part, which is a 2. So, we have a minus with this part. So I'm going to write at the beginning, it's a minus 1 to the k. And like we have a 2 to the power of k and a 2. Well, that's good, because that's going to give me my 2 to the power of k plus 1. So it's going to be my 2 to the power of k plus 1. And then we have a k factorial with a k plus 1. And then we have this bit, which is a 2x plus 1 to the power of minus k plus 2. So I think we're ready to go to the final stage, because this part is going to go down in the denominator as a 2x plus 1 to the power of k plus 2. If you have a minus with a minus 1, that's like a minus 1. You can change this to a k plus 1. So this is a minus 1 to the k plus 1, 2 to the k plus 1. And if you have k factorial times by k plus 1, k factorial times by k plus 1 is k plus 1 factorial. Obviously, if you know you have k plus 1 factorial, that is k plus 1 multiplied by k minus 1, k minus 2. Well, that's just a k plus 1. And then that part is k factorial, that bit there. And that was exactly the thing that we were aiming for it. I don't think we need to do that little extra stage that I did over here of making it look crystal clear where it's come from. I think that is so obviously of the right form that we've got that looks just like this thing over here. And then, of course, you are going to write yourself a conclusion statement. If you don't write that conclusion statement, you obviously don't get that final accuracy mark that you've got. And the conclusion statement would be for this. As it was true for n equals 1, and when assumed true for n equals k, it was shown true for n equals k plus 1, which I'm going to write down here. I'm going to say show or prove true for n equals k plus 1. Prove true for n equals k plus 1. As it was proven true for n equals k plus 1, but was assumed true for n equals k, it is therefore, this thing is true for all values of n, like this. Okay, I hope that was useful just to kind of have this kind of like finished off, and you might be aware you could come across something like this in an exam. But I just thought I'd do a couple of examples and save a bit of time by not writing the conclusion statement.